What is up guys, it's Cal, and in this video I'm going to show you the third wing of Sargeras, which is Chamber of the Avatar. Now this one's comprised of 2 bosses versus 3, which were the other 2 wings. And the first boss right here is Maiden of Vigilance, and I actually kind of like this boss. Mainly because there's a mechanic in it that makes you stronger whenever a boss kind of has that mechanic. I just enjoy it a bit more. So now with the boss, she has 2 phases. Now the first phase, there really wasn't a whole lot going on with it. You just kind of attacked her like normal. But then the second phase is when things changed up. She would cast this thing called Infusion, and she would immediately jump to the opposite side of the area. Now there is this big hole in the center that you'll be able to see. Don't worry about that at this very minute, but she will infuse half of the raid with a Fel infusion and half of the raid with a light infusion. This is a dot, but it has some other mechanics with it as well. If you stand too close to people with light infusion, you will have this bomb on your head, and the bomb will do a ticking dot on you, but it will also explode, making you shoot really high up in the air, and everyone around you, I believe, will also shoot up high in the air. So what you have to do is when you get the bomb, you want to jump in the hole, the center hole, and you'll just float slowly down. It'll explode, and you'll just jump right out of that hole. Now also during this phase is that she's going to be doing a lot of AoE damage to the entire raid. She's going to also have this bulwark bubble around her that dissipates as players attack it, so it's like an absorption shield. And then while that's going on, she's going to be shooting out these light and green balls out of the sides of her. If you have the light infusion, you want to run through the light balls. If you have the Fel infusion, you want to run through the green balls, because then you'll get a DPS buff. Now if you have light infusion on you and you run into a green ball, or vice versa, you will also get that bomb over your head where you have to jump in the center, let it explode, and then it'll shoot you back up. So, as I said before, on this phase, you want to damage that bulwark off of her, and then immediately use an interrupt. It's kind of similar to the Iron Maiden, or wait, what was that boss called? Maiden of Virtue boss in Return to Karazhan, where she puts that bulwark bubble around her, damage it off, and then you interrupt the thing. That's pretty much the entire fight of how I was looking at it. Now this next boss is the elevator boss, so this is interesting. So after you defeat the Maiden of Vigilance, the circle in the middle will then become an elevator. Alright, so you want to make sure, and classes like mages or priests, because they have slow falls, even pallies can choose this boss very well. Also hunters, if you have to be quick on that disengage so you don't fall, but you want to wait for the elevator to come all the way up, unless, I mean, you're one of those classes, so you can defeat the boss fairly easily. Because if you don't let the elevator come all the way up and you jump into the hole, you will die, and it's game over then. So once the elevator reaches the top floor, then you can stand on it and it will allow you to progress through the dungeon. Now I didn't really mind this boss all that much. It had slightly less mechanics as the last one, but it was a bit more fun. But then once the elevator reaches the ground floor, then well, that's pretty much the entire fight. Now at the beginning of the video, I think I said there were 2 bosses in this wing. I forgot about this last one, Fallen Avatar. So once you get to this point, you'll see Jaden, he'll say some RP crap, and then he will summon, or I guess kind of manifest, this Fallen Avatar. And he does have legs, trust me. You'll see in his second phase. So in his first phase, he's this giant body with a sword. He didn't do a whole lot, as I could tell. He will do this thing called Unbound Chaos on random players, which will do a ticking dot, but more importantly, it will lay this green crap on the ground under you. Just constantly keep moving, if you get that, so you don't instantly die. He might cast Shadow Blades at you, which just hits you, and it also hurts anyone around you, so make sure no one's around you when it hits you. And then on top of that, probably the biggest ability in this phase is called Rupture Realities, and when you see him start casting that, just run away from him. The further you are, the less damage you'll take. So he does have an energy bar, and once that energy bar reaches 100, phase 2 happens. Now once phase 2 happens, he will then knock out the floor below him. You'll all fall into this pit with this rocky ground, and he grows legs. So the tanks want to take him to the very corner of this rocky ground. He will also gain energy very rapidly in this phase. Every time he reaches 100 energy, the Rupture Realities thing happens again. Once again, the further you are from him, the less damage you take, but on top of this, once Rupture Realities happens, he will knock out part of the ground below him. That kind of acts as the enrage. Once all of the ground is knocked out, you'll pretty much die. And then on top of that, he will mark a target. I think it may just be melee. I don't know. It kind of just looked like it was melee. Something called Dark Mark, which will put this like purple circle around them. Actually, on second thought, I think I've seen it on range. I don't know. But it will do a lot of damage to that person, but it'll do less damage divided amongst people that stand next to that person. So More people that stay next to that person, less damage they'll take, and you will all also get knocked back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, tank needs to tank him to the corner. He'll do Rupture Reality. Once that happens, the ground below him will knock out, and then just tank him to the most corner spot of whatever land is still up. And that is really the entire fight. So there's the entire third wing of Tome of Sargeras. There's just one more wing out, and then this patch 7.2.5 comes out sometime mid-June, I believe. But if this video was helpful at all to you, if you liked it, you can leave a like on it. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video.